Once in a while, I start talking, and then 3 minutes in, realize that I never hit live and I'm talking to myself. So, good morning, guys. May 5th. It is crazy to me that it's already the 5th, but time to me is just super flying. And so, yesterday I was thinking about that. I'm like, as I was talking to Tayson, because he is just at the end of soccer already. And I was like, man, kiddo, you only have 2 games left. And then, of course, he, is just like, well, then what? And I was telling him, after soccer, we're going to roll into baseball. Then we're going to roll into soccer again. And so I was telling him, like, what did he say? Something about playing soccer in the snow or something. Good morning, Amber. And I was like, no, buddy, you play soccer in the spring, and then you're going to play baseball in the summer, and then you're going to play soccer in the fall. And I thought to myself, wow, like this is going by already. I want to absorb and take in my summer. I feel like it's been a really crazy for all of us, right? Like last summer, did we even have summer? What was that? And then it just feels like every summer I have something going on that makes it so I can't enjoy my summer. I am bound and determined that I will absorb and take in every moment of this summer. I'm going to barbecue and roast marshmallows and do whatever people do. No, but I really, really want to enjoy it. I've been really pregnant during some summers, so I'm gonna totally take advantage. But it's really, really going fast. There was something else I was going to say about sports, but I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it's pretty fun to watch Tayson. This is his first year doing sports. He is hilarious. Good morning, Michelle. He's so funny to watch. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to continue with this whole sporting thing with him. Okay, so I want to talk about something kind of a little more. Like, as I sat and thought about it, I was like, man, I don't talk about this enough, and I'm doing you a injustice, disservice, something like that. I don't really know what the word is, because somebody asked me a couple of days ago. They were talking about energy healing, and they were like, okay, so what exactly, how does this really work? And I was explaining to them, basically the super like vanilla level is just stress emotions, right? You feel those, you don't process them out correctly, then they are basically little energies that are now in your body. We all know that feeling, like, right? You can feel it in your stomach or whatever. And then they create spots where your body's potentially weak, or you may be already weak in a spot because of an injury. And then is what happens is your body goes into an alkaline state of pH in certain areas. You kind of start having a breakdown, and voila, right? You have a symptom. You start getting symptoms depending on where these are located or lodged, organs. They can be lodged in meridians, which are the spots in your body where your energy flows. It can create all kinds of problems for you. And the crazy thing is, they can be trapped somewhere in your leg, but be having an effect on your mental state. So that's the beautiful part of using your subconscious to tell you is how everything is connected. It doesn't always look like the kindergarten sheet connect the dots, 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Sometimes it's all over the place. And so it's a beautiful process to be able to figure out how that's all interconnected. So someone said, okay, that's super great, but what about things like, I've been diagnosed with Lyme's disease. And I was like, okay, so in energy healing, this is how this goes down, right? Basically, when you go into a doctor's office and you start listing off all these symptoms, what do? They bundle them together, and then they find a definition that fits those symptoms. And then they're like, I think you have blah, blah, blah. And as long as they start doing testing and those tests are still showing similar things, then that's how we come up with a diagnosis. And so a lot of times, What does that really mean? We're just putting a label on it. We're just throwing a label on it. Is that really the true illness? Or how we like to look at it in my world is that really, when it comes down to it, it doesn't really matter. The definition or the labeling of your illness doesn't matter. The problem is, in Western medicine, this now gives us a way to write you a prescription, or it gives us a thought to, hey, I think it's your gallbladder. We'll just take it out. In energy healing, that's not how we work. We find the true source of the symptoms. So when someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I think I have Lyme disease, that's fantastic. I'm not going to sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to find everything associated with Lyme's disease and we're going to fix that. No, we just start looking for all the imbalances that your body has. And we don't even necessarily focus on the word Lyme's disease. So I turn that into, hey, I'm going to ask your subconscious, what's the true cause of illness? What's the true imbalance causing fatigue? What's the true imbalance causing headaches? What's the true imbalance causing thyroid issues? What's the true imbalance causing, a heart problem? Because lots of times it's pretty simple. You have a hormone that's out of balance, or you have what we call a polarity pair. So you have one organ area that's really alkaline and one other pair organ that's really acidic, because your body's trying to stay in homeostasis. And when we balance those back out, magically, everything starts flowing and working. And now when you get tests, oh, hey, your cholesterol's suddenly within alignment. But we didn't have to go through any dramatic means. And so the question that got asked to me is, well, Amy, what about stuff that's like super high level? One of the hardest things about being in this profession, right, is I can't force anybody to think that what I do really works. I can't push anyone into doing a session or diving into energy healing. And so it's really hard for me when I'm around someone or around people, or I see someone on my Facebook that is making a post about how they are just basically posting that their death sentence, right? That big word that starts, well, now there's two big words that start with a C. So use either one of them. Those two big words that start with C's, and people are just like, the fear sets in. And so then we have this catastrophic effect going on because they've been given some symptoms. They've been tested. The doctors are telling them, yes, we can see some imbalances going on with your cells, right? Because that's what cells do when we get under stress and we have emotions. They start to break down. And so then we get diagnosed with this giant C word. Now, I don't know about you, but if I get told that I have the C word, I'm going to actually have more anxiety and go into a state of fear, which then does what? Encourages my cells to break down more. Then my symptoms become even greater. You guys, it really is a simple process. It really is. So when someone comes to me and they're like, well, what about the C word? Can you do anything with the C word? Okay. If your body is willing and ready and open to healing itself, you can do anything with anything. Those are two big statements. Anything can cause anything, and we can do anything with anything. Am I telling you that I am a doctor and I have the ability to cure your diseases? No. Is what I am telling you is I have the ability to work with your subconscious to release trapped emotions, to release stressors, to balance your body's pH back to a state of healthy homeostasis, which that in turn can, right, get rid of your symptoms. We don't cure diseases. We get rid of the symptoms. We get rid of the underlying effects. And in the end, can your diagnosis be something different? Well, yeah, because if you don't have all those symptoms, then what are you being diagnosed with? So can this be used on big things? Absolutely. It can be used on anything. In fact, if you jump onto my schedule, you're going to see that there is an actual selection that you can pick for deep imbalances, for deep symptoms, for deep issues. And those ones I only do by email because I literally have to be in such a deep state of Zen that I'm finding things that are so little teeny tiny to work on getting rid of these big overall symptoms. And it just works best for me because then I'm not having a conversation with you at the same time. There's no distraction. I can really just super dive deep in. So I wanted to share that with you this morning because I don't think I talk about it enough. And it's so heart-wrenching to me when I see someone that's like, oh, I've been diagnosed with this and basically I have X amount of time to live. Now, can we always reverse that? No, right? I showed you the other day, it works, like there's a scale here. And so there's a certain spot when, your body becomes too far gone, or maybe your time is just out. And so we're actually in the stages of, no kidding, shutting down because it is your time to move on, that we can't reverse it from here, right? We don't undo God's will. But if you are still in a place where your body can be reversed and you're in this scale, then yeah, you can. You can reverse anything that is going on. It really doesn't matter what it is. Guys, I've had some stuff where we've changed people's hair, toenails, you name it. Like, I've seen it. Of course, lots of emotional things, people that are really at the brink of just emotional disaster, food allergies. I just, of course, organ imbalances, things that nobody knows, right? Like fibromyalgia. That one's a big one because traditional medicine is going to tell you there's nothing you can do about it. When in reality, all that is imbalances in your body. You start clearing those out and suddenly you're like, wow, I don't have arthritis anymore. I don't, wake up wanting to not climb out of bed. I can handle situations. I don't get triggered by people, all that stuff. So it's such a beautiful thing. Okay. So there we go. We're going to go take on the day. I'm wearing my It's Two People to Go Outside shirt, and I love these socks. They're from, my Nightmare Before Christmas collection, but I super love them just because I love striped socks. So these are purple. The sun's coming out. It's hard to see. These are purple, woo, and purple striped socks. I love wearing striped socks. Not a fan of wearing striped shirts because I think it like really, does something funky with your shape of your body, but I'm all into stripes on my socks. So love those. Okay. I don't know, nothing else really going on. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Don't forget to love yourselves and, smile.